It's time for Did You Watch It?
How does this show work? We watch what we like, we talk about what we watch, and maybe you'll like what you hear. I'm Liz.
I'm Isabel.
And I'm Neil. Last night, we watched episode 6 of Bachelor in Paradise. The show aired on Monday, September 1st, 2014. Here's what we thought about it. We start with Marcus and Lacy this week. Marcus got a date card. Choose a Lacy to go on a date.
Yeah, it was kind of cute.
Yeah, for about half a second. And that thing that last week that they were talking about was going to be this little area of concern. Lacy hadn't said those 3 magic words yet.
Okay, I thought they were referring to the creepy place they went on their date.
You see this ladder into a dark cavern, I thought, really? They're gonna go there?
Yeah, the bats were disgusting, and what the bats were leaving in the water that they were swimming through was even more disgusting.
Yeah, I'd need a shower after that.
You know, it just looked creepy crawly in there.
Yeah, it was gag-worthy.
This is that psychologically bonding date.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh, in a terrifying situation.
Yeah. Swimming through Lake Guano.
Gross!
The equivalent of the squeeze in New Zealand, bungee jumping off Suicide Bridge in Pasadena, and Marcus and Sarah's platform dive into the toilet. Note to Lacy, falling in love with someone is not exactly the same as being in love with someone. It's like a non-committal commitment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When Lacy finally said that she was falling for him or falling in love or whatever she said.
The non-committal commitment.
Yeah, you hear the music swell, and I swear it was like all the animals were rejoicing.
Oh, yeah. They said, go shake that tree over there. Let's get a shot. Shake the tree.
And make all the animals and the birds fly away.
And we'll splice it in. Ashley and Graham.
That's a mouthful right there.
Yeah, well, what else is there to say except Ashley's cray-cray?
Graham didn't get a date card.
It's so ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. We done with Ashley and Graham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cody and Michelle.
Okay.
I didn't completely understand her reaction after the rose ceremony. Because she said, Cody came right up to me and he told me that he loved me. And then she kind of like freaked out.
You don't understand that?
I understand that you want to be with somebody who's on the same page and who wants the same things and who's moving at the same pace, okay? But that being said, if you wanted to take it slow, why are you trying to find love on a television show with a short-term shooting schedule and cameras every 10 feet for the 4th time?
You know what you signed up for, Michelle.
If you were like a rookie and you didn't understand, I could say, okay, all right, but this is number 4, girl. Damn.
Wow. You guys, it's Michelle Money. Come on, we're rooting for her. We want her to find love.
With Michelle, even number weeks, I get tired of her. She has good weeks, she has bad weeks, she has good weeks, she has bad... Okay?
There is a bit of a pendulum. From that perspective, I totally get it.
Well, this time when I saw her tears, I thought, oh, she's crying again. What's it for this time?
Now, she's crying because she wants love. She's crying because someone loves her. And then she's crying because she's afraid of love. But I'm a Michelle fan, so I can't help myself. And I love Cody, so the fact that the two of them might get together and might potentially have some kind of future is just exciting for me. And I know you think I'm crazy.
No, I do not think you're crazy. As I said last week, I am pulling for Cody. And when Michelle had the little talk with him about how she was feeling kind of uncomfortable that he was so far ahead of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like the fact that Cody stepped back and said, you know what? You go at your own pace. I'm going to be here.
Right?
Yes, I like that too.
Bonus points to Cody.
I think he's adorable. He's like a little puppy dog.
They're kind of adorable together.
They are.
Right? Because he gives her that affirmation and that love she's always wanted. She kind of keeps him grounded and in reality. Like, whoa, wait a minute. So I think it's a good match. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling it.
He's like a Northern European King Kong, and she's like a Bay Ray type of thing there, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Well said.
Claire, you see how this works? You both don't
Claire.
have to be at the same speed.
She seems to think so, but well, she'll never know because she decided that she had to leave.
Waiting for that call from Dancing with the Stars.
Exactly.
Anyway. Sarah and Robert with a cameo appearance by Brooks.
Yeah.
So apparently Sarah has a huge crush on Brooks.
There were a lot of people that had a crush on Brooks. He was really popular during Dez's season.
Why?
If you saw him and the way that he connected with Dez, it was just romantic, it was sweet, they had fun together, but then the end was just horrible. He basically bailed.
Oh, he bailed?
Yes.
Wow.
And it was really bad the way he did it because she was really into him and he made it to the final 3. It was a huge surprise to all of us when he just said, you know what, I'm not feeling it, because you had seen all this chemistry and this great stuff between the two of them.
Oh, you know what that was about?
What was that about?
What?
Well, don't you remember the song? Mama don't want you. Daddy don't want you. Give it up, baby, baby. That whole thing. So he probably got a little talking to.
And the parents were like, she's not the girl for you.
Of course, he comes in with a date card, and apparently, for whatever reason, he had to have a little committee meeting with Robert and Zach.
Wasn't it Zach who specified, like, let's go have a chat before he could even get another word out of his mouth?
I think it was Zach. Let's go have a little chit-chat so we can give you the lay of the land and tell you who to keep your damn hands off of.
No. All I was thinking about that particular thing is we saw later how Zach was kind of talking about he should have kind of stepped up to the plate with Claire, all that kind of stuff. So in retrospect, he's thinking, I need to do this with Jackie.
No. See, what had happened was... See, what had happened was when they were having this committee meeting, Robert basically said, okay, so I'm seeing Sarah, which means that if you ask her out, I'm going to kill you.
Pretty much.
That was such a proclamation.
Pretty much. He was levying a death threat on national television. He could do time. Sarah had a hard Jones for Brooks when she saw him coming down the beach. And it was like, oh.
Sarah's going on about, wow, I so wanted to meet Brooks and blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at him. I'm thinking, well, compared to Robert, not so much. I think I'd go with Robert.
Wow.
That's definitely the devil you know. So...
Oh my gosh, you guys.
She's saying, oh, it's like, it made me look twice at my relationship with Robert because now I'm feeling kind of smothered and, it's like I'm really regretting. She said smothered.
She did.
I wrote it down.
Oh my gosh.
She said smothered.
I don't know. I'm thinking, it's because there's this other enticing option right in front of you.
Yes. Mm-hmm. No, Lacy should feel smothered with Marcus in the hospital bed with her. Sarah should not really feel smothered with Robert just actually saying he wants to pursue something with her.
Well, she's all worried about Jackie, of course.
I don't know why she's worried about her, but...
Because,
Jackie and Brooks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Brooks asked Jackie to go on the date, Sarah was like all haterade and just had the stink face and was tearing up.
Kind of her reaction is pretty consistent with what she's shown us thus far. She's just a little intimidated by these girls. Mm-hmm. She would be worried about any of the girls.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, but I gotta tell you, Jackie's nice, I guess. Intimidating?
Intimidating for Sarah.
Looks-wise.
Then she set the bar very, very low.
But we've seen her insecurity, right? We've seen her insecurity through this show.
Oh, yeah. But we've definitely seen her insecurity, in those situations that would probably be considered justifiable. But yeah, Jackie, I don't know. I mean, why does she remind me of Katniss?
She does look like Jennifer Lawrence.
Doesn't she? Okay, all right. I thought I was just seeing.
I think it's because of the hair and
all she needs is a braid.
So Sarah gets to the point where she's decided that she's going to call it off with Robert.
Don't do it, girl. Don't do it.
I know.
So here's the thing with that. She was all decided, and then, bam, she was just swayed, right? So I think Sarah gets a flippy.
I was just going to ask you, does that mean she gets a flippy
award? She
award?
totally gets a flippy for this week.
She gets a flippy. And that's 2 flippies for this week because we forgot to give Michelle her flippy.
Yeah, yes. She needed a flippy too.
Exactly.
For sure.
We had a whole lot of heifers wanting to cut bait this week.
it was interesting seeing Brooks and Sarah interacting, and they certainly can be very nerdy together. But then Robert has this very sweet gesture, leaving Sarah a note asking her to meet him on the beach.
That was super cute.
Yeah.
Uber cute.
She asked him the all-important question about what happens when the show's over. And he said, yeah, I think I'd like to give it a try when we get back to L.A. And it's like, okay, all right. So then Sarah comes to the realization that a Robert in the hand is probably better than a Brooks in the bush. But
Oh my goodness.
Well, she's Team Robert, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I'm glad she is, because I feel like they're really good together.
yes, they are growing on me, much like fungus. Christy, Jesse, and Tassos.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay, I gotta say, Tassos was floating my boat this week.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
He was so sweet and so open and just ready to jump in.
Yeah.
It was kind of intoxicating.
Okay. So I have to ask you a question. Much like Michelle, would you also be tossing the sauce out of Tassos if you had the opportunity?
Would you be what?
Because Michelle had said that if she were Christy, she would be tossing the sauce out of Tassos,
That's right.
given the opportunity.
Yes.
I will say yes.
He just has a little something. I don't know what it is, but it's just
It's called caliente.
caliente. Muy caliente.
Now, can we come to an understanding about the meaning of the word misogynistic? Okay? Because according to the Oxford Dictionary, it describes a person who dislikes, despises, or is strongly prejudiced against women.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm thinking Christy didn't have a thesaurus.
No.
Or a dictionary.
Right. Jesse may be opportunistic. He may have strong commitment issues. Yeah, he may even be a douchebag. But it's hard for me to describe him as misogynistic.
Well, I think he could be simply because he does not value women. So if he's not valuing them, he's not thinking they're worth anything just for his play.
Yeah.
Well,
It can be interpreted that way, couldn't it?
He's got mommy issues.
if you don't want anybody playing with your toys, put the shit away. I'm just saying.
Maybe he got tired of playing all by himself.
Zach, Brooks, and Jackie.
All right.
Okay.
So when Brooks had his life threatened by Robert, he chose Jackie for the date.
All right.
Yes.
Okay? And the date appeared to go relatively well.
It did.
All right. And Zach, of course, is seems to be a good guy, though he didn't go to the lengths that Robert did to protect his interests.
Yeah.
But he was obviously concerned about the fact that he's rapidly losing time with Jackie because he wasted all that time that he had with the raccoon whisperer.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, I'm sure he feels bad that it didn't work out with Claire. That's why he wished he would have said something so they wouldn't have gotten into this debacle that had happened when she left. But then he probably realized Jackie's actually a pretty cool chick. Much nicer than Claire and much more with it than Claire.
And
Yeah.
less dramatic.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my goodness. And doesn't talk to raccoons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
So Zach eventually gets a date card, and he asks Jackie to go. And while they were on this date, I hadn't realized that Jackie had been on 4 dates already.
She's been on a lot of dates.
She has.
Yeah, she went on Markel with Jesse, with Brooks, and now Zach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and Brooks got a kiss on the cheek when they were playing foosball.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of lame.
Zach got some mouth action when they were in the pool. And we get to, right before the rose ceremony and everybody's all huddled together. And Zach pulled out the bracelet that if you tie it on your wrist and it falls off, then your wish will come true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cheesy.
I was going to say, did you think it was sweet or cheesy?
I thought it was cheese until Brooks rolled up with the nail polish.
Yeah.
And then I said, bruh, that's some straight Limburger right there. Now, every time Jesse is the topic of conversation, beeps aplenty. I mean, he's a... it's just all over the place.
Because it's true.
I mean, it's like... He's a... It's like, really?
Well, they don't want to get in trouble with the FCC.
Right?
And I get it. Okay. Note to Jesse, I am all over the taco thing, Cracker. Okay? Because that is just, I'm through.
That's right. He was calling Tasso's taco. Or whatever.
So mean.
Yeah.
I love that he was indignant as soon as Tassos took Christy on a date. He's like, oh, well, how? Why would she?
Yeah.
Oh, why? It's like, really, dude, you obviously know that your time is ticking away until you have to go.
Yeah. And in a showing of true douchebaggery, Jesse interrupts Tassos' time with Christy when they're having a little chat because he has to talk to Christy.
Jesse was saying something about that last ditch act of desperation is not a good move. And that's pretty much what he says, didn't he? Well,
Yeah.
when you have to kind of scramble at the end to figure out a way to stay on the show, that's not a good look for you. Well, he did do his little desperate act with Christy. Yeah, I want to get to know you. I want to get a rose. I want to stick around for a little bit longer.
Yeah. And so Christy told him what for, and he said, ow, well, you just bring that up now? All right, I'm out.
Yeah. His whole speech was just dripping with insincerity.
Oh, absolutely.
Which leads us to the first meeting of the She-Woman Man-Haters Club.
Right? This was intense.
Okay, and there was a bit of wrongness here.
Yes, I will agree.
It was a little gang-uppedness.
Sure.
As much of a douchebag as Jesse is, and I do concur,
Oh, absolutely.
Lucy and Christy are consenting adults.
They are.
It was their choice. Christy has her problems, and they are truly her problems.
Yes, poor girl.
And Lucy did exactly what Lucy wanted to do.
Lucy says it like it is, and she's going to do what she wants to do anyway.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Including taking her clothes off.
I don't even call it malicious. I don't call it trying to get some tactical advantage. This is just what Lucy wanted to do.
Exactly.
I agree.
And I'm not defending Jesse because he was dishonest and he was manipulative. That is absolutely wrong. Jesse did Christy a favor by just checking himself out and says, I'm done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's cool. What wasn't cool was that first little meeting of the She-Woman Man-Haters Club. And they said, we're going to deal with him right now before he goes. And they go off to the car.
Exactly. It's one thing if they wanted to help support Christy as she goes talk to him, and they could just stand there. But as soon as they started talking it and started trying to engage, no.
It was really a gang up, and it wasn't, I agree. If Christy wanted to talk to him one-on-one, great.
It looked like it was an elementary school playground.
Well, and when they were all sort of kind of leaning in the car as they were chastising him, I thought, oh, come on.
They should have just stood off to the side, moved back a little bit further, and let Christy say her piece.
Say whatever she needed
to say to Jesse before he finally leaves.
Absolutely.
Even more than Claire's little don't sugarcoat it moment.
Yeah.
This show's it just shouldn't be okay moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got a note for each one of them. To Christy, in your relationships, never forget, you always have a choice. You can be right or you can be happy.
Wow. Do you want me to move that soapbox so it's a little straighter underneath you there?
Because the time that she wasted trying to convince Jesse that he was wrong was time that she lost with the guy that was very much interested in her.
Tassos, yeah.
Yeah, and even when all was said and done, he didn't even get what you were saying. And it's like, yeah, because he didn't hear it.
He didn't want to hear it.
He didn't want to hear it. So why waste the time?
Exactly.
Note to Michelle, I shouldn't even heard from you during this discussion at all.
I agree.
And note to Lacy, just stop it.
Exactly.
Just stop it. Okay? You didn't even have the balls enough to get a hospital bed for yourself. Shut up.
It's very disrespectful to everyone.
Rose ceremony.
Woo!
Lacy got Marcus. Ashley got Graham. Sarah got Robert. Michelle got Cody. Christy got Tassos. Duh. The only real cliffhanger, if you want to call it that, for this rose ceremony was who was Jackie going to pick? Was she going to pick Brooks or Zach?
Yeah. And was it really a cliffhanger?
No, I don't think so.
Because I think we all kind of knew, right?
We kind of knew. But see, here's the thing. Because she broke the rule with Markel and it didn't save him.
That's true.
But when Zach came to talk to her and gave her the little bracelet, trinket, whatever it was that he gave her, she kissed him then.
All right.
Okay, so I don't remember seeing this in the other rose ceremonies, but was everyone required to say something meaningful before they actually gave the rose? And I put meaningful in quotation marks.
Oh, it started with What's-Her-Nose and the giant speech she gave. Who was the one who left with Chris?
Oh, Elise?
Yeah.
Rainbows after the storm!
Yes, exactly! And that horrible speech she made, and I think everybody else just kind of picked up on that.
Yeah, it's like the food poisoning from last week. So Jackie chose Zach, thankfully.
Yes, I'm glad.
Me too.
I like Brooks, but I really like her and Zach together.
Well, what'd you think of the Fearless Host's announcement?
What do you think the big upset is, though?
What will change tomorrow?
No new people are coming in, so I have no idea.
They're probably going to go into major therapy.
Oh, they're going to be analyzed by an astrologer to see if they're truly compatible.
Do the sun and the stars and the moon align? Okay, so when they show that little extra footage of Brooks and Jackie on their date at the restaurant where that thing lands on his...
Oh my gosh, was that horrifying?
I would have been screaming.
Then he couldn't
Get
find
that thing
it.
off of me.
That's why they sent that big guy with the beard, the Grizzly Adams beard. They sent him
my
home
gosh.
because they didn't want to have a repeat. Ah!
That was nasty on both accounts.
Yeah, that was a big bug.
Well, Brooks definitely kept his cool.
Well, yeah, I can't freak out too bad.
Right.
I'm trying to get a rose. You know?
Oh my gosh. I gotta keep my man card.
Exactly.
No girly screaming.
That's our time for today. You can follow us on Twitter at @DidTheLetterU.Watch-It. You can also find us at iTunes. Let us know what you think. Thank you for listening.